Okay, guys, so the results are in on our intercooler install on the ST, and I just wanted to go ahead and run through what I have here for the results and what I had expected to happen would actually happen. So what we've got here is the initial log. This is a 100% stock ST. Stock tune, pretty much as stock as you can get. And like we had shown in the other video, the charge air temp, the accelerated increase it has when it saturates the stock intercooler. Ambient air temp at the time of the run here, about 23 degrees, pretty chilly out. So you can see there's first gear, there's second gear, and what I've highlighted is the charge air temp, which is the air coming out of the intercooler going into the throttle body. And you can see already by second gear with the stock intercooler how we're up to 69, 70 degrees there, and now it's really accelerating in third gear, fourth gear, fifth gear. We're already up to 128 degrees on a 23-degree day. So the stock intercooler definitely is a little bit of a undersized for this vehicle, and that, of course, like I said, is common information nowadays, and a lot of guys know about it. I'm just kind of getting into playing with this thing. So now let's look at the Whipple intercooler. So this is with the Whipple intercooler installed. There was a 2-hour install window on this, and I literally turned around, went back out the same day, but the ambient temperature had risen enough that I didn't feel the test results would be as accurate. So I went ahead and waited till this morning and reran the results. As you can see, the ambient air temp is 25. And here is the charge air cooler temp outlet. Same road, same run, same direction. Tried to take all the variables out. And there's first gear, second gear, third gear, fourth gear, fifth gear, and there's quarter mile. Hardly any temp rise. Amazing intercooler. The thing does exactly as you would ask, especially being on stock boost. Now, people want to know the Draggy results. So I did a before and after Draggy as well on this vehicle. And what we're going to do here is this is the pre-Whipple intercooler Draggy result. 13.7, 99.3. I don't know why on the Draggy it did not post the temperature and corrected density altitude. Sometimes it does that. It may just be I don't have it set right, but irrelevant. It's within 24 hours. This run was roughly about 26 hours actually, but same everything. I'm going to forewarn you that the results may be disappointing if you weren't expecting this, but we're going to talk about why the results are how they are on a stock vehicle in these ambient temperatures. So here's the Whipple intercooler. Nope, I'm sorry. Don't let me get you confused there. And we're going to get this figured out. So, all right, just got to flip over. That's not what I wanted. There's the Whipple intercooler. So stock intercooler, Whipple intercooler. Stock intercooler, Whipple intercooler. Identical. And there's a reason for this. Now, the Whipple intercooler, as we can see, is functioning phenomenal, doing exactly as it's supposed to. I'm sorry, that's the wrong one. There we go. But on a modern vehicle, especially these EcoBoosts, it's not all about the charge air temp as far as the performance and the power output of the engine. And I'm a novice tuner, so there's some misinformation I'm probably stating on some of this, but here's what I see going on in the tune and how we're going to fix it. And account for the intercooler and utilize that intercooler on the performance side. So what's happening here is the thing that I see coming into play on this is up here it says exhaust temp control and temp protection. Look at the boost level. And you can see first gear, that's what we're running for boost, second gear, and then how it starts backing off, third gear, and you can see the temp protections coming in. The intercooler does do its job. The intercooler does make a big difference on a stock vehicle. And the logs I have on this ST in the summertime, those charge air temps actually start tipping into some of the tables that'll limit the boost. So if I were to do this test in the summer, we would see an improvement, I believe. Obviously, I don't have it's not in the summertime and I can't do it right. Take it back out and redo it in the summer, but you would see a difference. And I believe that wholly because the ambient air temp I was seeing in the summer of 98 to 100 degrees, and then the intercooler temp that was coming out of that thing, 190, 200 plus degrees, we were starting to pull some timing and boost just because of the charge air temp and the exhaust temp. So definitely worth the money, even if it's stock. You're going to maintain that performance throughout the year. But what we're going to have to do now is to get rid of these limiters, we're going to have to tune it. That's just fact, because what's happening here is the computer is always calculating the exhaust component temperature, that being your exhaust flange temperature, catalyst temperature, and there are a lot of overly, what I would consider sensitive protectors in there, that the only way around them is to remove some of these limiters or to change them in the tune to get it to where you can allow more load, i.e. boost, for longer and sustain it. And that's the other thing we'll do is we'll level this boost so that across the RPM band, as this thing's shifting, the boost stays pretty level like it does first and second roughly. And how we know it's the computer limiting that is over here on throttle inlet pressure desired is what I'm logging here. That's what the computer's wanting for boost at the throttle inlet, not after the throttle body in the manifold, which is what this is, but the throttle inlet desired. And as you see that desired rate go down, that's the computer wanting less. And you can see back here in the first gear how we're way up high. Second gear, we're 15, 16. Third gear, it's already starting to back off. And you can see the exhaust temp control has come on, because that's how we're going to lower those exhaust temperatures, is we're going to back the boost down. We're going to richen it up because the AFR is in the 10s now. And we're going to cool that exhaust system down to prevent it from being too warm and stressing it. That's what we're doing. So the intercooler is just one piece of the puzzle that we need to tune these, and definitely worth the money when you're all stock, and especially if you're in a hotter climate, down south or what have you. But in the cooler temps, as you can see, the stock intercooler, because that air coming across it was just so cold, it was able to maintain that range to where it didn't hit some of those limiters and temp up as high. So my results are definitely not what you might expect on an installation like that. But then again, this is probably the coolest time of the year we see, so it's going to be better in the summer. So next up, we're going to go ahead and do a tune from vendor one, and we're going to throw that on there, do some revisions, and once they're completed, we'll do another run and see what we've got there.